Hey, I'm excited to have Dustin Bealby with me today from Carolina Renovation Warehouse. I'm Brent Thompson, a business coach here at Lake Norman Action Coach. We're your training, education, and business coaching firm. So, Dustin, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and maybe your family and your business and what all you guys do.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I'm Dustin Bealby with Carolina Renovation Warehouse. I'm the president and co-owner. My wife, Nicole, also is a co-owner in the business and the CMO. Basically, what we are is we are a overstock and brand new home improvement retail chain. So what we basically do is we purchase overstock from whether it's the big box stores or the manufacturers directly. All home improvement goods, so vanities, bathtubs, and then we actually stock it in our retail stores, and then we actually have an e-commerce website too. So what we're able to do is buy in bulk, buy a large discount because it's overstocked. That, like I said, the manufacturers or big box stores, maybe they just manufacture too many for the demand of that product. We warehouse it and then we sell it both to our main business is contractors, flippers, property managers. But we also work with the public too. So anybody can come to any of our retail locations or shop online and are able to get goods 20, 30, 40% below what you might find actually in a big box store. So that's one side of our business. And the other side of our business is things like directly from the manufacturer, kitchen cabinets, flooring, tile, even appliances like LG or Medea. So those same things were usually much lower from a cost perspective than a big box store. Turnaround time is quick. So we're able to save homeowners who didn't expect or potentially couldn't afford to do certain renovations to their homes, the ability to actually financially afford it. The one nice thing and kind of interesting thing about our business is, especially on the overstock product, you never know what you're going to find in our store. So it is a little bit of a treasure hunt because once we sell out of that overstock product, we may never actually get it again. So for us, it's a good, fun thing for people to come in, kind of search and find what we have, especially during the seasonal times like spring and May right now, whether it's grills or heaters or outdoor furniture. So for us, we're a growing organization. We're looking at opening up more physical locations as well as expanding our e-commerce website. So it's really a wonderful thing, I think, for both people who are trying to save a buck, but also get something different that maybe they didn't expect from a purchasing pattern because they're so used to going to a big box store. They have a local outlet to purchase from.
Wow, that's great. And so here in the Charlotte area with the amount of houses and apartments and everything going up around, you guys are coming on right at the right time, that's for sure.
We
Um
are.
all right, so I want you to track back just a little bit in time and if you were to start from square one, what would be something that you think you would do differently now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Really, I would probably say it's the partners in the beginning. And when I say partners, it's the external partners. Finding the right vendors, marketing companies, accounting firms, and such is really key to vet them appropriately. I found it very interesting in the year and a half that we've owned the business that we've had to bring on new partners and partners who we didn't expect we ever would need. Whether that's attorneys to draw out contracts or new marketing firms to help us actually get the right material to our customer base and to help educate people who we are. But the vetting process is something that I would have changed in the beginning. When we bought the business, we were in a little bit of a rush to kind of get going. We wanted to do a whole entire new rebranding, change the name of the organization, new website, really everything. So the vetting was limited. We really only spoke to probably two companies. We chose one very quickly. And for us, as a lot of those companies we chose haven't been able to scale with our growth as well. And so we've done a lot of different things. So for us, finding people who in the beginning could have helped us, but really be able to grow with us and scale would have been a big difference for us to do because right now we are having to make a lot of changes just for who that partner base is. And for us, we're sometimes starting from scratch too. So we've lost both time and money, but really just were sometimes behind. And so I would really say from the beginning that the vetting of who we're choosing from an outside resource perspective would have been much more harder and probably just a lot more questions asked, which probably wouldn't have put us in the same position we are today. But I will say that because of it, we've been able to really narrow down the focus of who we need to be able to help us partner. And that has been a wonderful thing for us to really kind of start to figure out.
Got it. No, that's good. And I'm going to piggyback on that just a little bit with this next question. So that sounds like something that you've learned, but maybe share a few other things since you're now an owner and an employer. What are some of your biggest learnings that you've had outside of what you just talked about?
Probably, with us being a retailer, it's very cash heavy. We have to bring in inventory to be able to sit, and sometimes picking the wrong product can sit on our shelves, and it can start to set us back. So the big thing is probably just cash flow management. With any business that's looking to grow, it is definitely cash heavy, especially when you actually deal with a physical good like we do. So the ups and downs and the learning the market and even the seasonality of a business is crucial to be able to either have money in the bank or the ability to pull from lines of credit to be able to make whether it's a good potential buy, as well as, hey, you're seeing things dip because it's maybe Christmas or around Hanukkah or whatever it might be, that you are prepared for that. So really for us, we finally went through our first full year of owners and we saw what the finally what the seasonality is. So that's probably the one big thing is seasonality. And I will also stress probably the building a business to be very profitable. You can continue to have higher revenue, but if you're not building for profitability and really watching your numbers day to day, it is very difficult when you don't know what certain months will look like. So some people are throwing money behind the business to be able to see it grow. But for us, having that mentality of profitability is really key, has helped us kind of keep in mind, like, what's the next purchase? Who are we bringing on? What partnership might it be? What marketing are we doing? And for us moving in through 2024, we're going to take that cash flow and understanding the ups and downs to be able to start to capitalize on whether it's purchases that we're making, as well as just opening new locations of what do we actually expect those to actually bring in, especially during those openings during the year.
Got it. No, very good. And so now that you've been at it for a little bit, what are some common misconceptions that you run into about running a business that others see as, hey, that's a business owner, and there's some misconceptions about what it is to own a business, and how do you address those things?
Yeah, going back, I think the ability when I was an employee of an organization, I always thought that if I was the owner, I could have full authority to make my own decisions. And I'd always sit there and go, man, I just wish that they would make this decision because if I was in their shoes, I would do it. But being an owner, even though you can make a lot of those decisions, it is very stressful, and making those decisions and having that on your shoulders can really make or break an organization. So I will say that the autonomy and the ability to be able to grow our business and make decisions and have the authority was a wonderful thing that I thought, but I can't probably stress enough just how important it is to really be able to have a good team around you. And I think that's what people, at least my misconception is, it really does take a whole entire team of people that you're building around to be able to run your business, especially day to day. And as we continue to scale, a lot of those things have to fall on their shoulders and plates and responsibilities. And that's something that I took probably a little bit for granted before of that. My decision affected the company in just a specific way. And today, every decision really affects the company in every way possible. So, for people who are potentially looking to be a business owner, that's probably one of the biggest things is being able to know and learn and grow, to be able to give responsibilities to your team and understand that whether it's the financials or making good decisions with who you're bringing on board, even hiring, it's crucial, or not making decisions to have contracts in place or have a legal team on standby or have an accounting firm who can check your books. it's super crucial to have a team around you. And it kind of goes back to the first question of just partnerships. What do I do different? It's partnerships. And it kind of goes the same thing of ownership is just, it's great at the end of the day when things go well, but when it's rough, it's rough, and you have to be willing to stand through all those moments. And sometimes that stress can be a lot, but if you continuously move like we have, from a mental standpoint, it does keep you fresh and know that, hey, you just give it some time and do the right processes and continue the patterns, it's going to turn into something good.
Yeah, yes, sir, for sure. And though kind of piggybacking on that again, we hear the terms work-life balance quite often in our world.
Mhm.
And as a business owner, that's a challenge for, daily. And so how do you go about that work-life balance challenge in your life as far as just balancing, you have a fairly new business that's growing and it's doing well, but you still have a personal life as well. What do you do to combat that or the challenge to maintain that balance?
Yeah, so more about me. I've been married going on 7 years. I have a 3-year-old, and I actually have a newborn who's a 4-month old. And so, we've both from purchasing the business, I had a 1 to 2 year old, and then, being a year and a half in, I have a newborn. And so the work life is, just to give you an example, is last night, went out with my 3-year-old to play soccer in the backyard, and I took my phone and I actually locked it in the garage and I shut the door so that it wasn't in my pocket, so I couldn't hear, feel it vibrate or and so the balance for me comes from really being able to separate myself, knowing the timing of, hey, this is something that's important. And me as an owner is, I am someone that's tries to be readily available, but I will say having, especially a newborn who I look at and say, I enjoy spending time with my family and playing with my kids is really just being able to separate myself. And honestly, it's the phone. These days I have a laptop, but I rarely use it. I'm on my phone 24/7. And so me locking it away and knowing whether it's, nighttime and daytime and even taking vacations, just to separate myself from the daily grind or even being in the stores around people has been my thing. So for me, it's the phone. It is blocking it up, putting it away, and just not letting really anybody get in touch with me, and being able to spend my time with my kids and wife.
Got it. That's very good. Very good advice and very good practices there. So you've mentioned you have a few locations looking to grow a little more as well as you go forward. So you're an employer, right? So as far as employees and hiring, what are some characteristics or traits that you look for in hiring employees? And then also kind of tag teaming with that as far as culture. How do you maintain a positive culture and environment for those employees to come into?
Yeah, so the big thing for me is trying to find really what I would just call go-getters, someone who's um, just a self-starter, but really buys into kind of what we're doing and believes that there's something more to it. For us as a smaller organization, we have about we're probably approaching about 16 employees now. Um, we've already had multiple people get promoted from within just through our growth. And so for us, we always try to find individuals who are interested in taking on more. As you might start as assistant manager or working at, or even just, someone who's working retail part time. But we continuously are trying to find people who, even if you want to work part time with us, totally good. But what are you looking for in the future? And let's see if that matches. So for us, that self starter is important, especially having brick and mortar stores. The management portion is we're not sitting there next to people. We're not seeing them on camera 24/7. We really need them to be starters for themselves and be the image of the organization and carry themselves well, but really believe in the brand. So for that, that's a big thing. Also communication. Again, everybody's really remote in our organization. We don't have a central office. Our stores are our offices really. And so the increase of communication and making sure that we're sharing a lot of information is also crucial. So for me, when we're interviewing, especially the executive team and our management team who are managing the stores, one of the things we definitely look for is someone who can clearly articulate to us just what are they looking for, what are they doing, what's their background, how can we help each other really grow, both professionally and personally. So that's a big thing. Um, the thing for us is really looking for, um, yeah, I would really say it's people who are the self starters. That I really answer that question is that's who we were looking for, and we're very lucky enough to have an executive team who believes in a lot more. To really answer your question about how to keep them motivated and going, even this morning we sent out a survey monkey, just basically a questionnaire to every single person in the company. And as we continue to grow, we've added more and more benefits. And we've actually done, this would be our second survey monkey in about 4 months. And it's really about just what are people looking for? We ask open-ended questions of just what's working, not working, what do you need? It's a questionnaire that we don't know who that person is. It's a private questionnaire, so they can answer it however they want. But we also ask them about things that they're looking for. So whether that's 401k programs or different healthcare programs, or PTO. So we're actually actively approaching our team and saying, what are you looking for? And can we actually make that happen? Can we make it happen today or in the future? So for us, we really want our employees to feel that they are important to us, because the only way to grow is with them. And so our employees really do come first, because if we take care of them, we know that they're going to take care of our customers when they walk through the door. So we really do take the approach of interacting, asking for feedback actively from our employees, and then being able to say, here's what we're doing. The big thing at the end of that is we do tell them very frequently, just what are we doing with that data? So if someone asks for pet insurance, which has come up a lot, we're telling them, hey, this is either part of our stage 1 or it's part of our stage 2 or 3 process, just depending on what we can offer. So the activity of the communication, again, is very important to us, and just asking for feedback and then actually telling them what we're doing with that feedback, so they can either see something come out of it, or they understand, hey, this isn't something that's as important to us right now, but we want to get to it. It's just multiple things maybe have to come before it.
No, very good. That's all great stuff. And we'll start winding down here with a couple more things. Any words of advice, or what words of advice do you have for someone that is, where you were a couple years ago and maybe ready to jump in and begin to run a business? What would you give them some good words of insight?
Um, I would probably say make quick decisions. I would definitely say that. Be if you want to be a stagnant if you want to grow an organization, if you want to be stagnant, you have to make decisions quickly. Letting things kind of linger and sit out there is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for employee morale, your customers, or just your organization from a growth. So you may only have 80 or 90% of the data, but make a decision one way or another and don't let things linger. That's really helped us. It hurt us in the past. There's no doubt about making and not vetting as quickly, but we still at least got where we are today, but we made a decision and now we're just learning from it of what we need. But I would definitely tell business owners, make very quick decisions. It's very important. And I would definitely just go back to probably building a team around you. So whether you're a solo entrepreneur or you're trying to do something that includes and needs many of but just physical bodies, finding the right people to have in the room, to have the right conversations with you, to be able to debate, to be able to talk things through, to be able to pick up a phone and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. And for them to also be able to provide feedback and make a quick decision, super important. It really is. And lastly, it is probably just the understanding profitability. Understand your numbers, always be looking at them year over year, month over month, quarter over quarter, understanding where you are today and where you're trying to grow. And the number specifically will allow you to say, can I get there or not? And what changes do I need to make? So, we look at even our marketing numbers and how many people are doing clicks and activities and, conversions on social media. We really look at those numbers, and that drives a lot of our decision making. And then we're always trying to find new ways to be able to capture data. So the data itself is, if you don't know and you can't read data very well, find someone to help you read it, whether that's an accounting firm or a business consultant or whomever that might be. Talk to them, because those numbers, if you have the right data, will allow you to make good, quick decisions that'll definitely benefit your business. And then, that does put hopefully cash in your pocket. And as business owners, it's one of the biggest things is creating a sustainable business that's profitable for long-term success, and then deciding on what you're going to do with the business, whether it's, sell or close it down or hand it over to your kids. But that's a big thing, is really just understand the numbers.
No, that's all good advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to wrap it up with this. If we want to find you out here in the marketplace, want to find you or get in touch with you, what is the best way that you would have us to do that?
Yeah, the easiest and probably quickest way would be go to crwarehouse.com. Again, that's crwarehouse.com. You'll be able to see all of our locations, information, consultation forms. It also has our eShop page as well. Or you can go to Facebook and Instagram, when it's Carolina Renovation Warehouse, where we post quite a bit of information, whether it's our partnerships or updated inventory, so people can shop and kind of get a good idea of who we are.
Got it. Well, fantastic, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out and interviewing with us today and letting us learn about you and your business and all that you guys are doing, and appreciate what you're doing in our community. And we wish you all the best in the future going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Got it.